Welcome, welcome to another episode of Extra Features Movie Review Podcast. A very special episode, our annual Oscar Picks show, and we have some special guests joining us this week. I'm Kevin.
I'm Simon. I actually found the special guest.
You want to introduce them?
Once worth introducing. Brian, welcome back to the show.
Thank you very much, Simon. It's good to talk to you again.
Yeah, our 2.5 hours discussion of that crazy film didn't really. We had to come back and finish it. And the other guy I just can't get rid of. I have Chad Meisenheimer when nobody can spell his name, so he's probably not relevant.
I know, right? I'm from the blonde, at least.
And I do have Doug's pick, so everybody knows if I'm reading a second voice, I'm not doing two picks. This is Doug's pick. He apologizing. He's seeing another one of those bands that nobody's heard of.
You're just hedging your bets. I know.
I won last year easily. I had the great scuttle, a foil I got on for you guys, and he still lost to me. So what can I say? I'm still the champion. I've won more of these shows than all of you guys combined.
I didn't do last year. That's why you probably won.
You were too busy in the alley.
Gotta fund that movie somehow.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for that 2.5 minute part 2. It's only been, 10 years?
All right. Okay, I got my picks ready. So what's up?
All right. So we're going to go in. Simon has picked the ballot this year as the Rotten Tomatoes ballot, and we're going to be working in reverse order.
Just so people know, this thing has the most fall font I've ever seen on a ballot. Please don't use it.
It all leads up to Best Picture, but we're going to start off with the category of short film animated.
All right.
And how do we want to did we want to have the first person introduce, or shall I do it?
Just do it. It's probably easier.
All right. So the nominees for short film animated are The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse, The Flying Sailor, Ice Merchants, My Year of Dicks, An Ostrich Told Me the World is Fake, and I Think I Believe It.
By Chad Meisenheimer. Good work, Chad.
All right. So I didn't see there's some categories I didn't see, but I'm just going to base off what I remember seeing in articles and whatnot. But probably what's going to probably win is The Boy or the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse. But I'm going to go with My Year of Dicks.
Well, because you are a dick. That's pretty easy.
Pretty much. Some
okay. The Boy, the Mole, and the Horse is my pick. Why? Because somebody told me to pick it.
I have not seen any of these, I'll be honest. So,
really, Scuttle? What have you been doing? You have no kids. You barely work.
Yeah, okay. I've had a lot going on. I've between Sonic Cinema and my full-time job, I basically have 2 jobs. Plus, I just covered a film festival this week.
Hold on. Let's back this up. Did you actually get your interviews in, or just pretend you talked to Heather Landon Gep again?
She was not there this year, but I did seriously talk to her last year. I did have people around who could confirm that. But no, I did get some interviews in, and they'll be on the Sonic Cinema podcast in probably a couple weeks. So, but yeah, as far as my pick, I haven't seen any of these, but I believe Netflix has The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse, and that tends to be kind of an easy pick because Netflix means availability. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Doug, who decided not to show up because he's seeing, I don't know, Culture Club or something, took My Year of Dicks because he is a dick, so that's his pick.
He'll tumble for you. I'm going to go with The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse because I'm not very original.
All right, next.
All right, next category is short film live action. And the nominees are An Irish Goodbye, Ivaloo, La Pupille, Night Ride, and The Red Suitcase.
So for that one, once again, this is one of the categories I didn't get to see. And I thought, let's see, I'm trying to review one that was picked. Let's see here. Sorry, I should have been a little more prepared on this part. Yeah, I'm gonna have to probably pass. I don't even know any good ones for this one.
Why don't you pick a number between 1 and 5? Is it 5 of them?
Yeah. Trying to see here. Where was it? I had. Oh, there it is. That's what I was looking for. There it goes. I'm gonna say An Irish Goodbye.
There you go. Well, see, I have a problem here. I had Irish Goodbye or this French film, but you all convinced me maybe I should go with the French. Not, hey, no, screw it. I'm going to take the French film, the La Poupée. I'm going to go with that one. Or it's Irish Goodbye. Those are my two options.
The what? The pupils? You mean?
I don't know. I asked my daughter who's in French.
See,
She
that's
doesn't know
why.
what
That's why I think it's. That's why I think it's pronounced as Le Pupil. But yeah, that. I mean, that one's a good option because it looks like it's directed by Alfonso Cuarón,
Yeah, and he does good stuff.
two-time Oscar winner. So yeah, I will go Le Pupil.
Does anybody know what this means?
The pupil or the
The
pupils?
pupil?
That was my guess.
I have no
Mhm.
idea.
Yeah,
You
that's
guys are
the
American.
translation.
You don't speak anything but Spanish.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's translation. The pupils.
Oh, thank you.
No, that's what I said. I'm saying.
That's very kind of you, Meisenheimer.
The guy with the German last name has to pronounce it. Sad.
Oh,
There you go.
Doug's pick. Doug is picking Irish Goodbye, I think. Yes, he is. Irish Goodbye.
Very good. I guess I'll go with Le Pupil to be different.
I don't know.
Uh,
I have no idea. I just come on the show because you make me.
you make me.
You can leave anytime you want.
Oh yeah.
I have Scuttle and Meisenheimer to keep me occupied. And
Okay.
they're
Hey,
their
hey,
own
wait a
free
minute
will.
here. Wait a minute here. Yeah, I can only do this every so often.
I know.
I've got my own show I've got to do.
But John's got nothing to do, so I know he'll be here.
Sadly. All right. What's the next category?
Documentary short subject, and the film nominees are The Elephant Whisperers, Call Out, How Do You Measure a Year, The Martha Mitchell Effect, Stranger at the Gates.
Hang on. How do we measure a year? Is this some tribute to Rent?
I don't know. Is the Martha Mitchell Effect a sequel to Batman versus Superman?
That's what I was thinking. Martha. Your mother's name's Martha, so is mine. Hey, maybe we should play this game now. Brian,
Yes,
what's your mother's name?
Victoria.
Nope. Sorry, we don't. Nope. We don't match up. I know Kevin's mother doesn't. Nope. We can't play that game, Kevin.
Okay.
Because
How
my
about we
mother.
just do our picks?
Okay, I guess we're gonna have to. I tried to play a game. Didn't work.
All right. So for
Yeah.
best doc, you said just short, best documentary short, right?
Yeah.
All right. So I am picking The Elephant Whisperers.
Why?
Because it's like I feel like I've seen that one actually, but I just can't 100%. When I saw the title, I was like, oh, I think I actually watched that one.
To make my life easier, me and Doug both have Elephant Whisperers as our pick.
Oh,
Nice.
So I will say the only one of these I have seen is the Martha Mitchell Effect. I saw that at Sundance last year, and it's really good. But I will have to say Elephant Whisperers as well.
Kevin?
you know what? I'll do the full sweep.
So nobody's getting any points in this category.
No. All right. Visual effects starting to get interesting here.
Oh, is it really? Like nobody's going to pick the one film?
Well, it's a little bit weighted here.
Just a little bit?
All Quiet on the Western Front,
Yeah, that's
Avatar.
the one. That's my pick.
Avatar: The Way of Water, The Batman, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, and Top Gun: Maverick.
All right, so I'm gonna pick what was it for visual effects? All Quiet on the Western Front because that's a great movie, but I have
It
a
is.
feeling have a feeling Top Gun Maverick's gonna get it. But I'm picking All Quiet on the Western Front.
Okay. Chad's on crack, and I will
more
take
talking about?
Avatar. Doug is taking Avatar to make my life easier. So 2 Avatars here.
I had a really great discussion for my Oscar podcast on this one, and I do know one of the visual effects artist on Wakanda Forever has never won, and he's been nominated like 13 times. So that is something to look out for. But that being said, I do think we're looking at Avatar.
Okay. Are we going back to the guy Roger Deakins effect for the cinematography? I mean, I thought he should have won for that Bond film, Sam Mendes film. He should have won for,
Oh, Skyfall.
and got Skyfall. I really thought
Yeah.
that's some beautiful shots in that. So, are we going back to that argument?
I mean, it's entirely possible because I mean, Dan Sudik is the person, and he's one of Marvel's top guys, and so he's been, because of that, he's been nominated several times. He just hasn't won. That being said, I don't know if Wakanda Forever is going to be the pick for them. I feel like they'll probably wait for another one. Possibly Guardians of the Galaxy 3 this year. We'll just have to see. I am going with Avatar though.
Right, is just me?
Yeah, correct.
All right, so I'm gonna pick Top Gun Maverick, just because
Wow.
Avatar is just too much of, like, you don't want to just hand it to him,
Mhm.
right? And Maverick was a crowd pleaser, and the effects are actually really good in that movie.
And they're trying to have an audience too. That's the thing with the Oscars too, is now is that a lot of the nominations were like trying to be like, oh, look at us, we're prestige, but we're trying to be hip and cool. So they pick like the bigger ones where it's just like certain nominations. I just was looking at what got nominated, and I was like, really? Like,
Yeah.
really? This is trying to be like studios, kind of like, oh, you're a good boy, you're a good boy. But really, like I said, I actually think All Quiet on Western Front will win, but I have a really good feeling it's gonna be Maverick, Top Gun Maverick.
All right. Next up on our list is film editing. The Banshees of Inisherin, Elvis, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Tar, and Top Gun Maverick.
For editing, I picked Everything Everywhere All at Once. That's like the really good one, but gotta watch out for Elvis sometimes because Baz Luhrmann films always get a lot of the technical awards. But I'm going with Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Me and Doug are going with Everything All at Once. I think Doug's whole list is Everything All at Once.
Yeah, this is interesting because of the fact that it's one of the rare years where this category is just nothing but Best Picture nominees, and that's usually a pretty good indicator. But with all 5 of them being Best Pictures, and it's funny because Top Gun Maverick did just win the ace for editing today. But that being said, I would be very surprised if it's not Everything Everywhere All at Once. It's just a phenomenal piece of film editing, just going between all of the different multiverses and the way it builds to the overall effect.
You know what? I actually agree with all you guys, but I'm gonna pick Maverick again, just because Variety picked it.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, I do. I think Everything Everywhere All at Once is an incredible achievement, and for editing, just all the different multiversal aspects. It was everything that Doctor Strange wasn't. I think.
Well, this is one of those cases also where I think this is one of those movies that uses multiple different aspect ratios. And I think this is one of the few times where the editing makes that really palatable. Because sometimes if it goes between aspect ratios, it's completely jarring. And this one is very clean in that respect. But it would not, I mean, I'm going with Everything Everywhere All at Once, but it would not surprise me to see Maverick win.
Yeah, I'm going with Maverick on the grounds that, again, it was a tight, entertaining film. The action shots are really well done. The flight editing and the conversational aspect of pilots flying and talking to one another, and you felt like you were in the cockpit with them the whole time. So that's what I'm just going to go for something different in that case. My heart's with Everything always, though. All right. Production design. All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar: Way of Water, Babylon, Elvis, and The Fablemans.
For production design, I picked All Quiet on the Western Front. I feel like that's one of the best movies of the year, besides RRR, which didn't get any nominations, which still blows my mind.
Yeah.
But I think those two films were like the best films made all of 2022.
Doesn't RR have a song
They
nominated?
do have,
Yeah,
they
it
do have a
does.
song. Yeah, and
It does.
that's what's probably going to win, because you already know, because
Oh,
they
yeah.
kind of screwed the pooch on that, because that was a well-made movie. And
Oh, yeah.
there's some movies that I was looking at, like, that I feel like were just pretentious award bait movies, like Tar. and
Here we
Kate
go
Blanchett.
again.
So what's the next two picks?
Oh, well, yeah.
Uh,
What is Doug and Simon?
my
pick?
pick, Doug's pick is All Quiet on the Western Front. My pick, I'm going out on a limb, and Brian will like this. I'm going to take Babylon.
I mean, I don't know how much I like it because I'm very mixed on that movie, but I mean, honestly, that's my initial pick. But Catherine Martin is a veteran nominee for Baz Luhrmann. It would not surprise me to see Elvis win.
Mhm.
I don't know. I think Babylon just has so much going on in the film.
I think Babylon's
Tons and tons.
phenomenal production design. It would actually be a deserving winner, but I think it's going to go to a Best Picture nominee. So I'm guessing Elvis.
I'm taking a guess. I told you guys. I'm just my personal opinion on this one.
Well, I'm also going Babylon.
Okay, you watching Variety or something? Is that what I'm losing?
I'm
out
flipping
to here?
through. No, Variety's guiding me, but yes, I'm going by what the critics are saying, and if I agreed with them or not. I mean, my heart
Okay.
tells me I love The Fablemans of all those movies, but
So does
Yeah.
Brian. That's one of his
Mhm.
favorites.
mhm.
Yep.
I still haven't seen that one.
Okay, I got a little secret. I listened to Brian's Fableman podcast. I wanted to reach in and choke him out half the time. We totally disagree on that film, but that's not the place for this, is it, Brian? I'm going to be nice.
I appreciate that.
I do, but I do listen to it. I'm like, where's my phone? I wanted my computer in front of me during that Fableman thing. But you don't read emails, so there's no point.
Fine. All right, well, we're on cinematography, and the nominees are All Quiet on the Western Front, Bardo, False Chronicle of a Handful of Truths. So I have no idea what that movie is.
That is the one on Netflix that nobody watched.
All right, Elvis, Empire of Light, which actually I watched the other night. It's beautifully shot.
Yeah, but boring film. Brian?
Mm,
And
Yeah.
Tar.
Okay, Brian agrees.
Yeah, it was beautiful to watch, but I was snoozing half the time.
All right, so my pick for cinematography, it's going to be All Quiet on the Western Front. But I wouldn't be surprised if, no, I think that one's probably going to pretty much take it for cinematography, because the cinematography is amazing.
Yeah, me and Doug both pick All Quiet on the Western Front.
All right,
yeah. I mean, I you know, the thing is, I almost feel like this could be a layup for Deacons for Empire of Light, because it is beautifully shot, but like you said, it's really dull. I wasn't a fan of it. I mean, my top two favorites in this category of the ones that are nominated are Bardo and Tar, but neither of them have a chance to win, I don't think. I think I would have to say probably All Quiet on the Western Front.
it seems to be the odds-on favorite, and it's a beautiful. I mean, I agree, it's a beautiful film. I kind of feel like Empire of Light, but I'm gonna go with All Quiet. I'm gonna follow the. I'm gonna be a follower. All right, costume design. Babylon, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Elvis, Everything Everywhere All at Once, and Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris.
Which I've seen. I think Brian's seen it too.
So
It's the
my-
only one here I haven't seen.
Oh, the only one I haven't seen is Living, but I will rectify that this week.
So basically, for costume, I picked Elvis.
Well, this is the only pick that me and Doug have differed on. I took Babylon because I think there's so many costume changes in that film. It's insane. And there's hats. So my rule is always to pick a film with hats. And Kevin's known I've been doing this for years. So my pick
Yeah,
will be Babylon. What?
You definitely have a thing for hats.
I do. I think hats are the hardest things to recreate. And my sister-in-law is a seamstress, so I have a backup for that comment. And Doug's going with Elvis. I mean, how could you? I mean, I understand Elvis has a lot of beautiful costumes, but I mean, they're easily created. There's tons of pictures of them.
It's
Yeah.
I mean, it really bows down to Catherine Martin. She's as important a piece of Baz Luhrmann's films as he is. And
I
so
agree.
that's why I do think it's going to be between Elvis and Babylon. I do think Everywhere All Once won the Guild for this, and I know Ruth Carter won for the first Black Panther. I think I can definitely see Babylon winning this though.
Hmm. I'm leaning towards Elvis personally. Although of all the things of Wakanda Forever, I thought the costumes were really outstanding. From the two different, basically creating the costuming for two fictional nations and making them believable based on cultural divides. The whole Talocan style and the way their headpieces, everything. But I'm going to go with Elvis because I mean Baz Luhrmann and costume design go hand in hand, I think, and this will be one of the few areas where Elvis will get some recognition. They like to throw a bone out to most of the major nominees, I think, so in certain areas. You all right, Simon?
I'm just shocked you guys liked Elvis so much costuming.
I'm not saying I like. Well, okay,
Yeah.
I will say I respect the costume design of Elvis a lot more than I do a lot of the other aspects of that movie.
Mhm.
Okay,
See, that's the
if
thing
that's
too.
fair.
Like, see, Baz Luhrmann has such because I came from like the theater scene, and you could tell Baz Luhrmann is and his movies are very theater based. So it's like, no matter what, I feel like he always has a strong eye. Like that's what I'm saying, because it's like if this was like based on like not like unions and actual like people in that industry, because like Hollywood's a gatekeeper industry. It's just like it's all when everyone's kind of patting themselves on the back. Like Baz Luhrmann would probably, if it was not up to like the people, I have a feeling he would get a lot more nominations and wins in the technical side, because the technical side is so flawless. His production designs, his costumes, his hair and makeup, editing, like he just lacks storytelling ability really through visuals. But that's just my opinion. But technically, his movies are technically flawless. If you look at it, like you don't see anything wrong with his movies as a filmmaker. But yeah, I think, like I said, costumes definitely gonna be Elvis.
Okay, Chad.
Cool.
We got you.
All right, so we're into the second column here: makeup and hairstyling. And the nominees are All Quiet on the Western Front, The Batman, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Elvis, and The Whale.
So I picked All Quiet on the Western Front, but once again, I think it's gonna be Elvis. So, but I'm picking All Quiet on the Western Front. Because I feel like all Quiet on the Western Front is people are gonna be like shocked. I think it's gonna be like the wild card out of blue, because All Quiet on the Western Front took almost all the BAFTA awards, and that was a German film. And usually, a lot of times, BAFTA and the Oscars are kind of side by side.
Keep reaching, Weissenheimer. Keep reaching. So I'm just saying, I listened to a great podcast, and I'm not going to give their name because they have too many viewers, and you should be listening to the Sonic Cinema podcast because they need more viewers. About how they did the makeup on the face, so they had to shoot the scene when the guy was in the mud one day, and they tried all this different effects on his face. And they finally gave up, and he just put his face back in the mud. But that's still not my pick. For this, my pick's the whale. I mean, Brandon. Sorry, I got the one I'm thinking. Yeah, whatever his name is.
Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, Brendan Fraser looks great. He looked like a big fat guy to me in a fat suit. It didn't look bad. Like Anthony Hopkins in Hitchcock looked terrible. So I'm picking the whale just for that reason. Doug takes All Quiet on the Western Front, but I'm really not going to defend his pick because he's wrong. So, oh well.
This is going to be an interesting one because wherever this goes, I think and like we talked about on my my Oscar podcast, this one is going to determine a lot about who wins best actor. If The Whale wins this one, you can almost assure that Brendan Fraser is going to win best actor. And honestly, as controversial as the makeup is on this for just how extreme they seem to go with him, I do think it's going to be The Whale.
Oh, I have to apologize. Doug picked Elvis, not All Quiet.
Yeah, this one's a tough one for me because The Whale and the Batman are really one-trick ponies. It's
correct.
Brendan Fraser and it's
Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell as the Penguin.
Oh my God, love Colin Farrell as the Penguin.
I mean, Black Panther had some interesting makeup effects, more subtle, but not enough to win, I think. So it's All Quiet or Elvis. I'm going to go with Elvis because of Colonel Parker and for Elvis himself, his transitions over the years, going from young hot guy to bloated waste of space at the end there. So so I think that transitioning and the whole Colonel Parker transition, the makeup effects too, play a big effect on that. So I'm going to go with Elvis again. Technically, all of Baz Luhrmann's films are really good, so I'm going to go again. All right, sound. All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar, The Way of Water, The Batman, Elvis, and Top Gun Maverick.
For my pick for sound, once again, I picked All Quiet on the Western Front. This movie was really good. I was like, this was like literally a flawless movie. And I think it's kind of sad that the director didn't get nominated and they rather picked the director of Triangle of Sadness, that was a good movie, but but he should have,
I picked Top Gun Maverick. It's got planes in it, and it's just a creation of those sounds. I think that's just a phenomenal film to listen to. So me and Doug both pick Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah, I do think it's normally I would say maybe Elvis just because of the musical element, but I do think it's between All Quiet on the Western Front and Top Gun, and well, I can certainly see a path for All Quiet on the Western Front. I've got to go with Maverick.
So my heart is with The Batman, which I thought was a beautifully sounding film, visually stunning, and the sound effects were amazing in it. But my mind says go with Top Gun Maverick because you can't beat the planes and all of that. It sounded great. It looked great, sounded great. Great package. All right. Original song. Applause from Tell It Like a Woman. Hold My Hand from Top Gun Maverick. Lift Me Up from Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Natu Natu from RRR. And This Is a Life from Everything Everywhere All at Once.
For best song, I'm putting Natu Natu from RRR because this film should have been nominated for many other nominations, but didn't. This one's definitely going to be like we screwed the pooch. We're going to give this one an Oscar.
Hold on. Screw the pooch. This is the song that me, Chad, and Brian are going to do when we all meet at the Renegade Film Festival one year. We're going to go down the street doing the nut. Have you ever done the Natu Natu? And you can just see us doing this. So it has to be Natu Natu. Because if the three of us get together and actually have a drink, I don't think we're ever going to leave that bar. We're going to be there all night long having discussions.
Nice.
So Natu Natu for me and Doug.
I do think yeah, it's one of the few times I agree with you, Chad. I do think RRR deserve much more as
Fuck
far as
Simon,
nominations.
just Chad.
But man, I do think Natu Natu is gonna win because you know that live performance is just gonna blow the roof off the pavilion. I mean, but at the same time, you gotta look out for the star power, and you've got Lady Gaga and you got Rihanna between Top Gun Maverick and Black Panther.
I did the same thing. So I went on YouTube and played all 3 songs one after another. I fell asleep during the Rihanna song. I'm like, this is dull. The Gaga song did nothing, and Natu Natu, I just thought of us dancing. So I said, it's got to be Natu Natu. It's so good.
I just can't imagine the fact that if it loses after the performance we all think it's going to have on Oscar night, as far as the live performance, I can just see if anything else wins Best Original Song that audience just deflating, because that song is just such an energetic, exciting experience to watch.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going with the crowd. RRR is just of all those songs and all those films. I agree that the Wakanda Forever song was a snoozer.
Oh, this was the movie.
Pretty
right
much
in.
Disney money.
The Top Gun song was, whatever.
Didn't get radio play. That's why I always base it on. Natu Natu should be played daily, not to get up just listen to Natu Natu.
Yeah, but it's also just so integral to part of the film. It's just the energy of those two guys, and they're turning things on their head, and it's just
the one thing to keep in mind with Natu Natu though, and I'm still going with it, is that foreign language songs rarely win. I think the last one was Slumdog Millionaire.
One.
Yeah, but that was also a Best Picture winner.
But usually what wins is a big hit. None of these are hits. The Rihanna song's not a hit. The Gaga song, not a hit.
Which is shocking, and I think is the only reason it's not going to win. But no, I do think it's going to be Natu Natu. But I mean, it's just that is something to keep in mind as far as RRRs, the fact that independent foreign film songs rarely win this category.
True. It's the Oscars. Yeah, it's just like they try to act like I said. And this is not me being bitter or jaded, being in the business or anything. It's just that's how the
You're
Oscars.
In the business?
I am in the business, sadly.
Really? I thought you moved.
No, it doesn't matter where you live. Shoot, you're saying Stanley Kubrick lived in England. He still flew out to Hollywood. But I think, like I said, then I think, but like RRR is like this is gonna be their swan song, because, like I said, because when they didn't get nominated for international feature, right there,
because India didn't put it in. It's not their fault.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's true.
Korea didn't put in Decision to Leave, which I couldn't understand.
Oh, wait a minute. That's right. They went with Broker instead.
Yep.
Dumb.
Didn't they?
Yes.
I like Broker, but yeah, I think Decision to Leave would have been a stronger possibility.
Kevin's like, what are these film idiots talking about? These guys watch way too much film.
Yeah. All right. Well, on that note, the original score, All Quiet on the Western Front, Babylon, Banshees of Inisherin, Everything Everywhere All at Once, and The Fablemans.
For original score, I put All Quiet on the Western Front. Like that, All Quiet on the Western Front is probably gonna be pretty much all my selections almost. It's a good score.
I have to pick Babylon because I friggin' love the score. I hate the film, love the score. Doug picked Fablemans. And guys, I'll return in 1 minute, 2 minutes. I'll be right back.
All right.
Go, keep going.
Okay. This is a category near and dear to my heart as a composer. It's funny. My two favorite scores of this category are Banshees of Inisherin. I adore what Carter Burwell did, and I love the simplicity of what John Williams does in Fablemans. But I think it's between All Quiet and Babylon. I have very mixed feelings on the Babylon score. I love listening to it individually. I don't think it adds as much to the film as other people think it does. But I just, for some reason, I can just see that winning.
I feel like it's like because also the Oscars, because like was it John Williams? He's retiring, so I have a feeling that might just be a throwaway award too. If All Quiet on the Western Front don't get it watched, that could be like the wild card.
He has walked back those retirement rumors, but I still think I do agree. I do still think this is somewhere where he could win. Yeah, because it's been about 30 years. It's also been 30 years since he's won. So
not just that, but he's not getting any younger too. So it's just like the Academy kind of does that too, where it's like, that's the thing that sucks about the Academy Awards is like they do those little throwaway awards sometimes. It's like, why? Just give him a Lifetime Achievement Award or something.
Yeah, that's why Fablemans is my choice for that reason, just because of the John Williams factor. Everybody knows his work. In reality, it probably should be All Quiet on the Western Front, but I will go with Fablemans for my pick.
What was Brian's pick? Sorry, I missed that.
I ended up going with Babylon.
Oh, I'm shocked because I haven't heard your episode on soundtracks yet because it's only available on Patreon, so I'm mostly upset.
Yes, it is. I have very mixed feelings on Babylon. The score, I love listening to it. I just don't think it adds a whole lot to the movie as a whole. So
I agree.
But I can still see it winning because people just absolutely love that.
Yeah. Should I even read out the nominees for international feature film? I will.
It's All Quiet on the Western Front. Does anybody else got another option?
Or international feature?
Yeah,
that's pretty much All Quiet on the Western Front.
The other nominees are Argentina, Close, EO, and The Quiet Girl. But I think All Quiet on the Western Front is a shoe-in.
Well, how could it not be?
All of the other nominees,
No?
all of the other nominations, including Best Picture, it's gonna be All Quiet. Let's put it this way: if there was a second international feature nominee that was in the Best Picture race, it might be a question, but you always go with the one that's not made in the Best Picture category.
Of course,
if one is. So, yeah.
All right, documentary feature: All That Breathes, All the Beauty and the Bloodshed, Fire of Love, A House Made of Splinters, and Navalny.
I've seen two of those, and I'm picking Fire of Love.
Which I keep meaning to watch, and I haven't quite got to it. Doug picked All the Beauty and the Bloodshed. I picked Navalny, or whatever it's called. I don't know. That was just people told me to pick it. I haven't seen any of them, so I couldn't give you an answer this time.
Yeah, I haven't seen Navalny, but I mean, I've heard that it is a very strong possibility. I think it's tough because the three that I have seen in this category, I absolutely love all of them. I'm still gonna go with Fire of Love. I think that's gonna be the one to win it.
Ryan, I'm gonna put you on the spot right now for Kevin's pick. Do you ever dislike a movie? Like, I mean, dislike.
I absolutely hated Blonde.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I loathed Blonde.
Yeah.
See, I enjoyed it. I actually liked it.
Yeah, you like the S&M. We got it.
No, it's just like it felt very Terrence Malick-y.
Okay, go ahead, Kevin. I just want to see because I've
I
never heard
hate Terrence
Brian
Malick.
ever on a podcast
I can't stand Terrence
hated a
Malick
movie. I've
films,
never heard him say it. See,
didn't
I
even watch
love Terrence Malick films. Love them.
them. What was the one set in Vietnam? Thin Red Line?
That's one of my favorite movies.
Oh, awful. Terrible film.
Love it. Every minute of that movie.
I'm picking Navalny. Simply because I've heard of it. All right. Animated feature. This will be interesting. Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, Marcel the Shell with Shoes On,
Oh, here we go again.
Puss in Boots. Who loved that film? Somebody loved that film.
Doug's kid got mad at me when I started railing on him for liking that film. And I mean, railing on him.
Puss in Boots, The Last Wish, The Sea Beast, and Turning
Oh,
Red.
oh my God. Can we never discuss the Sea Beast again?
Sea Beast was good.
Oh, God, I hated the Sea Beast so,
but
much. Just like, try. I'd rather sat there and painted for a full day than to watch the Sea Beast.
For I picked for animated feature, it's gonna be Del Toro's Pinocchio, which from that that's another thing that kind of surprised me that didn't get nominated for best song was Ciao Papa, which was actually a really good song. Which this also gives me a reason why RR is going to win for not two, because Ciao Papa was probably one of the best songs of the year, and it helped the story.
Oh, Pinocchio, come on. Stop motion animation? Yeah, you got me right there. That stuff is so hard to do, even though that one company can never win anything. I can't remember. Brian would remember the company I'm thinking of. They keep losing all their...
DreamWorks?
Not DreamWorks, the other one. They did they always do
The
those
Gromit
weird
one?
ones.
The
The ones
Wallace
who do
and
the
Gromit?
Gromit ones?
No, they always win. Can't remember. It'll come back to me at some point. But yeah, my pick's Pinocchio. I'll look it up.
And it wasn't a very strong year for Disney or Pixar.
The one that had like Box Trolls. Who did Box Trolls?
DreamWorks, I think.
That was DreamWorks?
No, that was Trolls. I don't know.
You know the company I'm talking about. They had the one with all the feathers and the stop motion. Doesn't matter. I don't just I never
Leica?
get into the movies.
They do Coraline and yeah.
That's it. They never win.
No.
I love Coraline.
No, because unfortunately this is basically dominated by CG animation. But this is going to be an exception because it's going to be Pinocchio. I mean, it's kind of shocking that Pinocchio was not in the Best Picture race, and it probably should have been. It's a tremendous film, and I hope, and as much as I love Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, I do think Pinocchio was just tremendous.
I'm in agreement on Pinocchio. I think it's the clear winner. Although I did like Puss in Boots, but not as Best Picture.
I love Puss in Boots, but not Best Picture.
All right, adapted screenplay. All Quiet on the Western Front, Glass Onion, and Knives Out mystery. How is that adapted?
Because it's not an
That's
original.
what I'm figuring out.
Because it's technically a sequel.
Oh, okay.
That's why.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's why?
Yeah.
Oh.
If it's a sequel, it's almost invariably going to be adapted.
Mhm.
Because it's
Did not
not
know
technically
that.
based on an original concept.
Yeah, it's almost like Agatha Christie's movies, stories. Like it's all like it's like sequels to everything. It's not like a different book. Yeah.
I guess that would also explain Top Gun Maverick being in this category.
Yeah.
So the other two are Living and Women Talking.
For my pick, for adapted screenplay, I picked All Quiet on the Western Front because the director also co-wrote it, and he wasn't nominated for director. So I have a feeling they're gonna go this route because he was also the co-writer.
I'm going to pick Check Please by Chad Meisenheimer because it's like a
Best
comedy
comedy.
genius and it never gets nominated. No, Women's Talking blew me away when I watched that film. I thought it was just wonderful to listen to, and I could listen to it for another hour without an issue at all. So me and Doug have both picked Women's Talking, but I think it's just a perfect film.
Yeah.
And that's why I made my top 10 list.
Yeah, this is Sarah Polly's year. She should have won for Away From Her. She's going to win for Women Talking. It's just an absolutely tremendous screenplay.
And I agree. That's my choice too. Women Talking. All right, how about
Can you
original
relate to
screen?
Women Talking, Chad?
No, I'm just sitting there smirking at their choices. You
Chad's
said
got
original
one.
screenplay?
I'm just going
Yes.
all quiet, and hopefully it'll hedge all those categories. All right, original screenplay. No All Quiet on the Western Front in this one, though.
Lucky for me.
Yep. Banshees of Inisherin. Everything Everywhere All at Once. The Fablemans. Tar and Triangle of Sadness.
Oh God, why is this film getting any love?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I
I
felt like
was
the
not big.
menu was better. The menu was better.
I
than this.
absolutely agree with that one.
Oh, the
Yeah.
menu is great.
I think I think Triangle of Sadness had a good second half and okay first half, but a good second half. But yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of it.
For,
Interesting characters would have been nice in Triangle of Sadness. One
wasn't even
interesting
that.
character. One guy I liked.
well, let me guess. Woody Harrelson's character.
No, the
Oh,
guy
really?
that kept saying the guy with the big beard that was in the drinking contest with Woody Harrelson. He had to keep guessing the
Oh, yeah.
cards.
Okay.
I kind of liked him.
For original screenplay, I
Or the
picked
guy that's taking a crap on the John for 20 minutes. Yeah, that was fascinating.
For the original screenplay, I picked Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Is it that original? Really?
It's,
I'm just bugging you.
it's pretty original. From my point of view, if you read my scripts, you'd be like, oh, wow, Chad scripts? Everything at once.
Has anybody read your scripts, Chad? You haven't produced anything in 5 years.
Sadly, yes.
I know. I'm going to keep hammering you. You know that. I'm going to hear about this later. This is my show. I can do what I want. Banshees of Inisherin is both me and Doug's picks because I just love this film and it was one of my favorites of the year, so I have to pick it.
I initially picked Everything Everywhere All at Once, but I do think Banshees of Inisherin's gonna win. It's arguably the strongest script Martin McDonough has done for the screen, and it's going to win something, because if it weren't for Everything Everywhere All at Once, I think it would be the clear winner for picture.
Absolutely agree.
Mhm. Yeah, I am going to go with Banshees of Inisherin for this one. Even though I liked Everything Everywhere All at Once, and I like the Fablemans, but I don't think it was a giant secret what Spielberg's life was. He was pretty open about his. So I didn't think there was any shocks there.
Don't tell that to Brian. He has it on 4K, and I'm sure he's got the poster on his way for his wall.
Oh, I love it. I love the movie. I'm not.
Oh,
I
it
do.
already. I told you I didn't see it because he's blocking it. That's pretty funny that I knew he ordered it.
No, I love, as much as I love the Fablemans, I also adore Banshees of Inisherin, and just the way McDonough builds that premise is just absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, he's a good writer.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're getting into the big ones here. Best actor in a supporting role: Brendan Gleeson from the Banshees of Inisherin. Hold on, moved on me. Brian Tyree Henry from Causeway. Judd Hirsch from The Fablemans. Barry Keoghan from Banshees of Inisherin. And Ki Hoi Kwan. Everything Everywhere All at Once.
So for my pick, I picked Key from Everything Everywhere All at Once, but watch out for what's the actor's name? Barry Keoghan. I have a feeling if he might sneak in there. He might.
Really?
Yeah, he might.
No.
Sneak in.
No, not a chance.
Oh,
no.
He doesn't have enough to do.
No.
This is
You
going
want a
to one
BAFTA?
person and one
He
person.
won a
alone.
BAFTA.
Oh,
Yeah, they're British. They eat too much fish and chips.
they like strange things over there.
Exactly. I mean, this is the No Time for Love Dr. Jones guy. He's winning. Doug picked him. I picked him. Brian picked
But you also
him.
got to remember.
Yeah, this is-
remember the year for Mickey Rourke when he was like nominated for. Everyone was like picking him to win Best Actor years ago, and he
For
was
the
winning all those
wrestler, he
awards.
wasn't acting. That was him.
But the thing you have to keep in mind, though, Chad, about that is then Sean Penn won SAG, and it was basically over. And
Yeah.
I mean, SAG actors and SAG, the acting branch and SAG is the biggest overlap of anything.
Yeah, exactly.
No, this is just, don't even overthink it. It's Hu Kwan. He completely deserves it. He's
Oh yeah,
my,
most definitely.
he,
He's my
he was
pick.
honestly my he was honestly my favorite performance of the year. So yeah.
Right. Well, I'm picking Ki Hoi Kwan. for this
Yeah,
one.
No Time for Love, Dr. Jones.
Yeah. Because he's great in this movie. I mean,
Oh, he's fantastic.
my second pick would be Brendan Gleeson, but I think Barry kind of checks him out.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Even though
Kind of like
Barry,
me and Chad checking each other out.
Judd
If it were
Hirsch is-
Paul, if it were Paul Dano instead of Judd Hirsch, I think it could be a two-person race. But yeah,
Absolutely.
I think it's gonna be Ke Kwan.
right on.
As much as I love Brian Tyree Henry, this is just as an introduction to the party. So
Mhm. Oh, it was a good performance too. Like that was like
yeah,
out of the movie. Like the movie was decent. Like it was good, but it was his performance was really good.
All right. How about actress in a supporting role? Angela Bassett for Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, Hong Chow for The Whale, Carrie Condon for Banshees of Inisherin, Jamie Lee Curtis for Everything Everywhere All at Once, and Stephanie Sue for Everything Everywhere All at Once.
For supporting actress, I picked Jamie Lee Curtis, but the little part in me wish Stephanie Sue will win, but
Yeah.
it's gonna be Jamie Lee Curtis.
I gotta say, I'm going to change my pick. I've been thinking about this all day, and I've seen way too many Jamie Lee Curtis looking all excited all the time and winning crap everywhere. I originally picked Angela Bassett, but more I think about this, more I think that's a dumb pick. So I'm changing my pick to Jamie Lee Curtis. Doug's picking Jamie Lee Curtis, and I'm going to
Yeah.
officially change it on my sheet to Jamie Lee Curtis, even though I'm not happy about it.
what's Doug's pick?
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm watching these Jamie Lee Curtis self-promotion things. I'm like, you know what? This woman's a genius. I'm giving her the damn award.
I mean, before SAG, I definitely would have thought Bassett could have been
Yeah.
a strong possibility.
But she won, say, Curtis, right?
Yeah, Curtis won SAG, and
That's what I thought.
Bassett. I mean, the thing is, it's like, do you really think the Academy is going to give it to her for a freaking Marvel movie?
Exactly.
I mean, that's the thing, and
Yes.
but I mean, this
Yes.
is honestly the most chaotic category of this entire bunch.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah, as much as I do wish it was Stephanie Sue, as much as I do feel like Carrie Condon could still be a spoiler,
Mhm.
but yeah, I think it's gonna be Jamie Lee Curtis. And honestly, and the thing to keep in mind with Jamie Lee Curtis is that she's been supporting, she wasn't just a supporting character in the movie, she's been a supporting character in the run of this film from Jump Street.
Mhm.
She has been promoting this film, promoting her co-stars the entire time. And then you have the fact that, she's a Nepo baby, but
Yeah,
she's
exactly. I was gonna say that
arguably
too, yeah.
regarded.
Hollywood royalty
She's
right
Hollywood.
there.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I do think it'll be Jamie Lee Curtis.
I'm going with the stupid pick. I think it's still going to be Angela Bassett simply because, I mean, she really does give a strong performance in that movie, and
Yes.
and she's someone who's never won. So,
And
I
this
think-
is only her second nomination.
Mhm.
So,
And she's a
do
good actress. I ain't dissing that. Like
Yeah.
that's the thing. It's just like she's an amazing actress, but it's just like
Remember-
I feel like Disney threw money at the Oscars. Like, yes, give her a nomination. Give her a nomination.
Remember what I was saying about Banshees with Brendan Gleeson and Barry Keoghan? I
Mhm.
think Jamie Lee and Stephanie kind of work against each other in this category, even though Jamie Lee Curtis is hands down the favorite. Carrie Condon was okay in Banshees, but she's not the focal point at all. She just gives a nice performance, and I haven't seen The Whale, so I have no context there. But I just think that it's one of those, like, Hollywood wants to honor Angela Bassett. I think that if they want to move that way, and it looks like they are, but I could be wrong. I think it could very well be Jamie Lee Curtis. So
Hong Chow is amazing in The Whale, but she's there just as it's great to finally nominate her after she probably should have been nominated years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But she's fantastic in The Whale, but I mean she would honestly be my top pick of the 5. But as far as who we're predicting to win, I think it's gonna be Jamie Lee Curtis.
cool. All right. Now we're into like the top 4, right? Actor in his leading role, we got Austin Butler for Elvis, Colin Farrell for Banshees of Inisherin, Brendan Fraser for The Whale, Paul Mescal for Aftersun, and Bill Nighy for Living.
So I picked Brendan Fraser for the best one. Because once again, he also won the SAG Award. I watched the SAG Awards. If there was ever a spoiler, I don't know why people keep talking about Austin Butler. He was good, but I don't see why he got nominated for it. But I really feel like Brendan Fraser is going to win it.
I'm 100% backing you up. I thought Brendan Fraser's performance was phenomenal. I thought the film was just okay. My pick's the same.
If The Whale wins makeup, that means Brendan Fraser is winning Best Actor. And I do think after SAG, I do think that's going to be the possibility. It could be a situation where Colin Farrell sneaks in there because he was, I believe he won at BAFTA, or he was one of the winner. He was up there for BAFTA, and he had a phenomenal run of 4 films this year. But I do think it's gonna be Fraser.
I'm leaning towards Colin Farrell as my choice. I mean, Austin Butler, I'm not picking him, but he really did inhabit that character. Like, he is Elvis. I was like, even when those first trailers came out, I'm like, where did they find this guy? Did they stick some Elvis tissue in a cloning?
Ask Brian, he'll know.
Yeah, but I mean, the guy, I guess, I remember Austin Butler from his appearances on Arrow years ago as a supporting character, but.
Well, he was also in Once Upon a Time in America too, or in Hollywood, the Tarantino film. He was Tex.
Tex, yeah.
So,
yeah.
Hey, I'm not like knocking him as an actor. He's a good actor,
Tex?
but like he's a good and like he's like a good actor. But for this movie, I wanted his nomination. I was just like, once again, it's the studios throwing money at the Oscars. Who had so much money?
All right, so how about actress in leading role? We've got Cate Blanchett for Tar, Anna de
That's
Armas.
not Chad's pick.
Anna de Armas for Blonde. I'm laughing as I'm reading that. Andrea Riseborough to Leslie, Michelle Williams in The Fabelmans, and Michelle Yeoh for Everything Everywhere All at Once.
I'm gonna say Michelle Yeoh. I think she'll be Best Actress. If it's like a spoiler, God, I can't stand Cate Blanchett got nominated for that movie.
We know.
It's just like, but I really think it's gonna be Michelle's year. The most deserving is probably the Andrea Riseborough. She gave a really good performance in a really good movie, but it's gonna be Michelle Yeoh for Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh, this is gonna kill me, but I'm gonna stick to my pick, which I said on the show. I'm taking Cate Blanchett for Tar. She blew me away in this film. I know Chad hated it because he hates everything I like. I'm going with Cate Blanchett. I'm sorry. I know everybody's, Michelle Yeoh. I'm sure she'll probably win, but I said Cate Blanchett was going to win an Oscar on my show. I'm still sticking with my pick. Doug's taking Michelle Yeoh. I'm sure I'm going to be wrong. But if I'm not, I'm coming back next year and rubbing it all in your faces.
This has been a two-person race the entire time. Even though I do feel like Best Actress is the correct category for Michelle Williams' character in The Fabelmans, she would have cleaned up if this was supporting. Yeah. She would have absolutely cleaned up if this was supporting. and I love her performance. It's one of my favorite performances in a Spielberg film. Andre Riseborough is terrific, but it's only an average movie. It's not much. It's not any better or worse than your average Sundance movie. But she is terrific. So in a role that I think is kind of catnip to the Academy. But this is going to be Michelle Yeoh. Once she won SAG, that was kind of it. I think that's the clincher for like it was for Halle Berry when she won for Monsters
I'm
Ball.
totally telling you guys I'm going to lose this category, but I can't go against my pick. I agree with everything you're saying. I really should have picked my pick to Michelle Yeoh, but I cannot go against Kate Blanchett. I love Tar that much. I would have voted for Blanchett, even though Michelle Yeoh would have been a close second.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna go with Michelle Yeoh for my pick too. No, she deserves it. I'm with
Not denying it.
definitely leaning towards Kate Blanchett for a while there too, because I've heard such good things about Tar. I still haven't seen it, but
Don't waste your time.
no.
I mean, it's a good. Don't get me wrong.
Here we go.
It's a good movie. I love Todd Field. Todd Field is probably one of the best screenwriter and directors out there. But it's just like,
I agree.
I figured out the movie, but this is also because I'm a filmmaker, where it's just like I don't see like a regular audience member. I figured out the story like 15 minutes into the thing, where I was just like, really? So that's the thing with me.
He claims nobody has nothing to back this up, just his personal opinion.
Google my name and then we should see.
Who has produced more content the last 2 years?
Nobody? Pornhub?
Is that where you're hanging out? Is that why I can't find any Meisenheimer shorts?
Onlyfans.com.
I'll subscribe to his Patreon before I subscribe to your OnlyFans. I'll leave it at that.
All right.
I don't know how to take that. That seems like an insult, but
no, I think your Patreon's phenomenal.
Thank you.
I just don't want to see Chad Meisenheimer's unclothed body.
Nor do I.
So don't take that as an insult. You do run an excellent podcast.
Thank you.
Meisenheimer, I don't want to know what happens on OnlyFans.
All right, our director choices are Mark McDonough for Banshee.
Is there really a choice here? Really?
Well, let me read them out anyway. Daniel Kwan, Daniel Scheinert for Everything Everywhere All at Once. Spielberg for Fablemans, Todd Field for Tar, Ruben Östlund for Triangle of Sadness. You know, just an honor to be nominated there. What do you think, guys?
For director,
let me think.
I picked the Daniels.
Yeah.
I picked Todd Field. No, of course the Daniels. I'm not picking against the Daniels.
And it's also because they won the Directors Guild too, so.
Yeah.
And I just finished Dick Long today. I want that to state that I've seen all the Daniels movies now.
Yeah, it's gonna be the Daniels. They once they won Directors Guild. I mean, he won the Globe, so theoretically, if they don't feel like giving Everything Everywhere everything, maybe Spielberg, but it's gonna be.
Here we go. The Fablemans again was not that good, Brian. Not that good.
It was excellent.
It was excellent.
Oh God, here we go. I have to defend myself.
You're the one who going. Here we go again. I'm not even saying Spielberg deserves it over the Daniels. He doesn't. The Daniels are my top pick.
Perfect.
So, take that for what you will.
I am.
Okay.
You'll hear me on the Sonic Cinema podcast, me and Brian going at it.
Are you gonna pick a movie worse than Kung Fu-y next time we next time I have
100%. Listen, what was your movie? That one with the guy goes away? The stepmother.
The stepmother.
Hitting on her stepson for some VOD trash box you paid $5 for it. A FYI 10 years ago.
Yeah, it was terrible, but I enjoyed every minute of talking about it with you.
It was so much fun.
All right,
That
last one.
beer's coming sooner than you think.
Okay. Last category, best picture. 10 nominees. Is it 10 this year
Yeah,
or
it's
no?
10.
Yeah.
It's 10.
All Quiet
Check,
on the
please,
Western
by
Front,
Chad Meisenheimer.
Avatar: The Way of the Water, and I'm laughing as I read that. The Banshees of Inisherin, Elvis, Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Fablemans, Tar, Top Gun: Maverick, Triangle of Sadness, and Women Talking.
Yeah, that has a
Where are
chance.
we going here? I mean, are we all picking everywhere?
Yeah, I'm picking Everything Everywhere All at Once. It's probably out of all the nominations. I think that's gonna win it.
Wait, you mean Meisenheimer's not going to pick All Quiet on the Western Front to just
I
a
don't,
shot?
I don't think I don't
Elvis?
think I don't think it's gonna win Best Picture because it's sort of like, well, I get Parasite, which I didn't like as much. It did
Oh,
win
you didn't like
international-
Parasite either. Here we go. Man
I
with
didn't
no
like
taste.
Parasite.
The no
though.
taste.
But you see, I
Meisenheimer's
love his
back.
films, but Parasite, I was like, and
Mm.
I like
meh.
Korean stuff.
Nomadland.
Oh God, no man, like garbage. I want to go start on that one. I hate that movie with a passion. But yeah, I feel like Everything Everywhere All at Once is going to win Best Picture. Or if they're
Well,
going to be like a spoiler watch, Top Gun Maverick, just the Academy will be like, screw you guys.
There's
Just to
no way
fuck with
Top
everybody.
Gun.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, they'll pick
Yeah.
Fablemans just to piss me off.
No, I don't think they'll.
Or they'll pick
Everywhere
Tar
all
just
at
to
once.
piss off Chad.
Oh, if they do, I'm sending Chad a gift basket.
I'll
with a
hang
big
myself in my
finger.
boxers, man. I'll be like, don't get me wrong. Like I say, it's a well-made movie, but it was just like, come on.
Everywhere all at once. We all know what the pick is.
Yeah, Everything Everywhere All at Once is not only the best film I saw this year, it's one of the best films I've ever seen. It deserves to win.
Totally. I agree.
Is that it? I can
Yeah.
actually give our anything
mean-
else?
There are actually quite a few movies in the top 10 I like this year, which is unusual.
It's unusual. You've actually watched more than watched 3 of them. That's pretty unusual.
Yeah. Well, no, usually I see 7 or 8 of the 10. I still haven't
Seen all
seen
10.
I haven't seen Women Talking, I haven't seen Triangle of Sadness, and I have not seen Tar, but I've seen everything else.
I've only, like I
Oh.
said, the only one I haven't seen is like the Feldmans. I haven't seen because I'm just too lazy to go to the movie theaters because it costs money. And then Women Talking was like that's another one I didn't see. But I have a
See,
feeling it's probably I have a feeling like, but I love Sarah Polley, so she does good stuff. But then again, I saw Frances McDormand and I was like,
I paid to watch
No Man Land
Fablemans
2.
at home.
Okay. Are we done here? I'll
Actually,
just a
I
fast
lied.
race.
I haven't seen Avatar: The Way of Water, nor do
Oh,
I.
I haven't
plan-
seen that one either. Not goddamn. I haven't seen that one
Brian
either.
has. He started in 4D and shaky.
No, it was
cinema
actually
and-
just regular 2D, and I thought it was tremendous. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't deserve to win. Like I still think it's a terrific film. Like my top 3 are Everything Everywhere, Fablemans, and Women Talking from the nominees.
What?
Okay.
No,
Can
no
I-
Black Panther, Wakanda Forever.
No
Sorry.
Eternals. Oh, sorry, wrong year.
Right here.
No, Returnals came out last year.
Oh, how about Black Adam? Shouldn't
I
that
think
be on
I
here?
think the Eternals is still playing somewhere.
Yeah, but
Probably
probably
is.
a Regal.
It's probably in a
Black
Regal
Adam.
cinema.
Most of
Well, I hear one north of Georgia plays those kind of films. Somewhere north of Atlanta, there's a Regal cinema that plays like Fablemans nonstop and Black Adam and the Turtles.
Good Lord.
And they cheat you on your refill on popcorn because the manager's a dick. I just hear these things. I don't know. Just when I read the comment sections of Twitter.
Yeah.
You're reading some weird comment sections of Twitter. The manager's
Dude.
right.
Well, it comes up. It's really weird. I'm in this some group that says you and selected friends, and these things just pop up about Regal Cinemas. Who knew?
Oh yeah, it's it's got to be Facebook. The way they do their like suggestions and recommendations
Oh,
are
it's
so
the
Yeah, it's getting
freaking
bad.
weird
Yeah,
anymore.
it's getting bad.
Yeah.
I
Like,
have no
If
idea.
I didn't have to use social media as a tool, I would be like off of social media. Because like I'm like
Kevin lives on social media.
what happened?
Kevin's job, if you want to know what Kevin's up to, just read
Oh.
social media. He'll give you 400 people where they're sitting, and I haven't heard of any of them.
No, it's just like that's one of the things. I was like, I had to
Comic
block
Cast.
someone the other day. I was like, ugh.
Okay, we're wrapping this up, and we'll continue this conversation off air. You can find Scuttle at soniccinemas.ca.com.
www.sonic-cinema.com. And
And
there you
sign up
can
for
find all my
Patreon.
different, patreon.com/Sonic Cinema. Subscribe wherever you listen to the podcast, YouTube, Apple, Google, Spotify. You know, we've got some great episodes coming up. We've got some great episodes in the past, including me and Simon going off on a couple of cheesy ass movies,
So much fun.
which was genuinely a lot of fun. I love that discussion. But www.sonic-cinema.com will basically get you wherever you want to go with me.
You can find Chad at his mom's house, so just go over and visit her. You'll
or
find him.
Twitter, www.twitter.com, Chad Mize, or OnlyFans/the Chad Mize.
And 20 Minutes with Chad now on YouTube.
Oh yes, that too.
Kevin, you have nothing to promote.
I'll be producing a comic book guest list at a Fan Expo show near you somewhere.
Okay, that's it. If
Okay.
they make it.
Simon has watched it.
Correct. Good night.